That is right. What is good, fam? Welcome to episode 21 of the Human Hope Podcast with your host. That's me, Carlos Enrique Guzman and Chibol Cabello, or Los for short. 21. We're legal. I got myself a little glass of bourbon in my left hand, the microphone in my right hand, because we're partying. We're 21 episodes in, and I'm just so freaking grateful that you guys tune in every single week, not knowing what you're going to get. You're going to get Carlos teaching about something. You're going to get an interview with a random person. You're going to get an interview with his wife. You're going to get you guys calling in. The shows, there's no rhyme or reason to this besides just giving hope to all of humanity. That is the goal. And that is why today, oh my gosh, today I did something. Oh man, I did something yesterday. Well, first of all, no, I did something last night. I decided on a brand new topic of the podcast yesterday around 4. And then just said, let's just create a podcast that thousands of people are going to listen to the day before it comes out. Now, why in the world would I do that? Because I don't have a team of people. Still don't have a team of people. Okay. I know I've been teasing for 21 weeks that I'm going to hire an editor. I just can't find an editor that can make it sound as good as me. Is that an ego thing? No, I know what this thing can sound like and I want it to sound good. And it's just kind of like my baby. Like I like to paint. Like editing this podcast is like painting. It's like art for me. So that's why I'm still doing this. But because I still edit my own podcast, I had the availability to be sitting here at my desk at 11:13 p.m. on Wednesday evening and know that I'm going to have a podcast up in 3 hours. Why? Well, because I'm editing it. But let's get to the point. Because it's been 2 minutes and 13 seconds of me not getting to the point. The point is, the reason why I'm recording this again the night before is because something happened today. That if you follow me on Instagram, if you're part of the InstaFamilia, you saw a miracle happen. You saw something happen that I am still emotionally exhausted from the exhilaration. Today, I actually right now I'm supposed to be in Jonesboro, Arkansas, I think, or Jonestown, Arkansas, or something, Arkansas. Anyway, I'm supposed to be speaking tonight at an event, but the event got canceled because there was a COVID breakout. Tons of people got COVID, so they canceled the event. And I'm like bummed, right? I'm like, jeez, this sucks. I'm going to lose out on all that money. I got to go home. But whatever. I mean, I guess it'll be good. I can see my wife and my new puppy. My kids are all out of town. So whatever. So I get on my flight from Dallas to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Nashville because I'm a Delta guy, right? So if you're a Delta guy, you're basically an indentured servant to Atlanta. You have to go through there all the time. So I'm in Atlanta, and normally my MO when I'm in Atlanta, if I have longer than a 15-minute layover, is I go to a Delta Sky Club. Right? Like I pay the money every year, so I may as well go get my free drink, get my free food, and just relax. Even if I just have to pee, I'm going to go up in there and pee because I paid for it. I paid for that bathroom. So I'm on my way. I get off in the in the B terminal. No. Yes, I get off in the B terminal, and my new gate is at the A terminal. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And so I'm on Instagram. You guys see me on Instagram. I'm like, one of the tunnels underneath the airport in Atlanta has all this rainforest cafe looking stuff above you. And I'm like, hey, I'm in the rainforest. I'm not heading to Jonesboro, Arkansas for my speaking event though. That's a bummer. I got to go home, yada, yada. You see me walking there. Then I go up the escalator, the same escalator. Well, not the same one because this wasn't going up, but the escalator that, yes, my wife broke her arm on 3 months ago, whenever that was. So I get up and I'm walking towards the Sky Club, B18 Sky Club. And something in me was like, you know what? You don't want Sky Club food. You want some Chick-fil-A. There's no Chick-fil-A in the A terminal, but there is in the B terminal. So I just started walking towards the Chick-fil-A because, man, something in me just wanted that chicken biscuit, some hash browns, and some chicken minis. Yes, I get 2 entrees. So I'm about to get in line, but then I see it. Now remember, it's 10 a.m. There's a man playing the piano. I was like, wow. This is kind of cool. It's early, right? You think a piano player, late afternoon dinner. So, I'm looking at it, I'm like, ain't nobody paying attention to him. So I walk over to him and kind of smile at him. He smiles at me and he's playing good, man. I mean, this guy's playing good. He's been around a minute. So I go back up and I order my Chick-fil-A and I sit down and I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out, listen to this guy. I'm not going to the Sky Club. I just want to listen to this guy. Well, man, what was coming out of this guy was so positive and just so life-giving that I didn't want to leave. And I had a 2-hour layover. Well, maybe it was like an hour and a half. And by this point, I had about 45 minutes left. So I decided to sit there. And then about 30 minutes before I left, so after 15 minutes, I think to myself, well, you know what? Nobody's giving this guy a tip. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've seen a couple ones and one five. So maybe he's gotten like $13 over the course of 15 minutes. And so I was like, I'm going to give him a tip, but I didn't have any cash. So I went up to him and I was like, hey, do you have Venmo? And he's like, no, I just have Cash App. And I was like, oh, I think I have Cash App. I was like, all right, cool. So, but he was just super happy. And so I dropped him $50. I was like, look at me. Give the man something he can go take his wife out on a date. Right? Unless she's my wife and she wants to go to Rolf and Daughters, which we went to tonight, and it was not $50. So I digress. I give him the $50. I Cash App him the $50. And then I was like, why did I not think of this sooner? Why am I not inviting the InstaFamilia to tip this guy? So I got on there and I said, hey, we got 30 minutes. I'm going to collect through the Cash App and Venmo as much money as we can in 30 minutes. And then I'm going to tell this man what we're going to tip him. And so my heart was pounding, right? I'm super excited. And he's just playing his heart's content. He's just laughing. He's having a good time. He don't care if anybody's tipping him. He really don't care. So then he came over because, he saw me filming him and he's like, hey, so we talked for a little bit. I found out a little bit about him. Then he went back and played some more. Then he came over and talked a little bit more. And I'm like, man, I really like this guy. So we like became homies. Then I had about 5 minutes before I had to leave. So I was like, hey, Tonee, come back over here. So he stopped playing in the middle of a song. And, well, no, I'll tell you, you can go on Instagram to watch it. I was going to play a clip here. I'm not going to do that. I said, hey, I just need to let you know that I've been filming you, like live streaming you on Instagram, not live streaming, but putting you on my story. And I had my InstaFam put some money together, give you a big tip. And I actually asked him what's the biggest tip he'd ever gotten. He said $600. And this is a podcast I try to keep it sensitive for little ears. So I won't play his reaction when I told him, I need to let you know that I'm about to give you $10,000. Oh, his face. But trust me, listen, I know some of you guys aren't on Instagram. Just for this story alone, I put it in a highlight and I also made it an IGTV. So it's not going to disappear. Wherever you're at, maybe you're listening to this in like 2029. Go back if Instagram still exists. Find @LowSwit, LOSWHIT. Find my IGTV where I give the piano player a $10,000 tip. So of course he's shook, right? He doesn't know what to do. He's shook. And I hug him and I kind of grab his hand. And I don't know if you guys realize, like I was like holding his hand like he was my dad. There was just something about holding that black hand that has been through more than mine has. Oh man, I was getting emotional and I just said, hey, you deserve this. And he's like, who are you? Oh, that was the other thing that was funny. I said, they tipped you, $10,000. He goes, who are they? Right? Who are they? Exactly. Who are they? It's the InstaFamilia. We don't play. We don't come to play. So, I Cash App him as much as I can. The limit lets me. And then from there, I just give him a hug. He, he's speechless. And I get on my plane. And I fly home. And by the time I land, I think it was at $20,000. And then a few hours later, it was at $30,000 because I decided to leave it up. I was going to take it off my story. I'm like, no, let's give this man a bigger tip. As of right now, we are at $57,000. Deja vu. Have I done this podcast already? Did I already talk about the fact that you guys gave $220,000 to Brooklyn to Alaska? Did we talked about that already? Yeah, we have. And I did the math. And the InstaFamilia has actually donated over $500,000 to causes or individuals in need over the last 6 months. I mean, this is what it's about. This is how we become better humans. There's actually science that shows like serotonin levels in your brain balance when you give. Like give, that's why it feels so good. Like because we were created to give. We were created to be part of community. Giving is part of community. Giving is something that we're supposed to do. And it does feel so much better than receiving. It does. It just does. And I love that I can simply be a conduit between you guys and the individual organization where you guys can give. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep finding people. So here's the deal, though. When I got home, I texted Tonee and I said, "Hey, what would you think if you were on my podcast? Like, could I Zoom you right now?" He said, "Absolutely." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Absolutely." I said, You can?" He said, "Yeah, and my wife's here." Friends, I need you to buckle up your seatbelts because you actually think you're going to get a lot from Tonee, but you get a lot more from Mickey, his wife. Not more. Tonee speaks a lot, but what I love about it is Mickey can't help herself but praise her husband in public. They are blown away. And right here on the podcast, he thought that all he was getting was $10,000. He was blown away. He was still crying from that. And I let him know right at the beginning. I said, "Hey, oh, by the way, I need to let you know, I just checked my Venmo and you're not getting just a $10,000 tip. I think at this point it was a $44,000. So I said, you're going to get a $44,000 tip. And I wish you could see it. Again, I'll put it on my Instagram later today or whenever you're listening to this, you guys can see the video. But I have video of when I told them that on the podcast, but you're going to get to hear it yourself. So enough from me. I want you guys to sit back. I think it's about 30 minutes long and just enjoy this just very intimate look into a man that was a stranger to me and just playing the piano at an airport this morning. And now he's become a close friend. We've texted all day long. Even 20 minutes ago, we're texting. And he's got some wise words and he's been through it. You're going to hear kidney failure, kidney disease, dialysis, losing his job because of his health, literally dialysis every night. Okay, enough. Let's get to Tonee and Mickey and the human hope they give to us. Here we go. Can you hear me now? Hey.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm old, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good. I can hear you. I can hear you already, so that's good. My brother.
I'm still overwhelmed, man, at that meeting today.
Hey, listen. The Lord ordains things for people, and he ordained that meeting.
Obviously, yeah, because that doesn't just happen.
I need to tell you what the updated total of tips are that people have given. Okay, so just listen. All right, I need you to. Hey, is that your beautiful wife?
That's Mickey. That's Mickey.
Is he blind? He said beautiful.
Oh, come on, that's beautiful. Hi, how are you? You've married a saint of a husband.
He's special. He's
Tell
been
me.
special a long time.
Yeah, I'm special, all right.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now, okay. So listen. I need you to pay attention because I just looked in my Venmo account right now, and I need to let you know that I don't even know how to say this. Listen, you ready?
Yes.
$45,000.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
$45,000.
Who are these wonderful people?
Just
oh
for
my
you.
Gosh.
Just for you. Just for
this
you.
This is a special man. I promise you.
I told you when we met, 5 seconds after I met you.
Yeah.
I cuss a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to cuss right now.
Go ahead. Go for it.
my gosh, Carlos.
Oh, Carlos.
You've taken my breath away.
Well, listen, when I saw you today, as I was going by, I almost went to the Delta Sky Club. Okay. I'm a Delta Diamond. I fly every week. I'm traveling around, and so I'm like, man, I want to go up there. I want to get my free drink. I want to hang out. And something in me, and I call that something in me the Holy Spirit. Okay. I'm just telling you what it is. Something in me said, no, go to Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, man, I don't need no more Christian chicken. I'm done. Right.
Christian chicken.
Right. So
that's the mustard, please.
Okay. So I walk over, but then I hear this beautiful music and I'm like, what? And I look over there and it's not just beautiful music, brother. You were playing with everything inside of you. You were swaying. You had that Ray Charles thing going. You were all in. And I said, I need to listen to this, man. And then as I'm listening to you, your joy was infecting me. And I just knew what it was time to do. It was time to get I called it the InstaFamilia. That's my Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And I said, let's see what we can't do for this brother. 4 weeks ago, I was in Alaska with an organization called Brooklyn to Alaska, where we take inner city kids from Brooklyn that have never been to the wilderness and we take them to Alaska. In 24 hours for that organization, my Instagram raised $225,000.
Oh my God.
And it's just what we do. And so I normally don't do this just for people, but I was like, there was something about you. I knew there was a reason, and I knew that God had placed you in my path for a reason. Sir. And as of right now, there is $45,000 that is going to be going into your Venmo account over the next 2 weeks.
Stop it. He probably didn't tell you, but a really tough week.
Well, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me, Mickey?
It's been a tough week. Yeah, he's struggling with some water weight around his ankles, and that's always problematic when you're diabetic, and he's a dialysis patient.
Yeah.
And but he soldiers through it. You'd never know it. He shows up every day. Tonee never misses a day of work. He loves his music. He loves his fans. And he's a soldier. He's a soldier.
Listen, here's the thing is, Tonee, you got 178,000 new fans. You should be reading.
You have too many good warriors like that.
Carlos, man.
What an amazing gift.
God bless you.
What an amazing gift. You were supposed to drop by today.
I was supposed to. And it's a beautiful thing. And the thing is I sat Tonee down before I even thought about doing the Venmo thing, and I just wanted to hear your story. I just knew that you had a story, and he started to share his story. But unfortunately, the audio that I captured in the airport wasn't good enough, and I was like, I'm not going to let this man disappear off the face of this earth without people getting to hear all the goodness that he was telling me. He was dropping gold nuggets left and right. And so, what I love is I see 42 years of marriage in front of me right now. And if there is anything that I see right now, it is a husband and a wife that have made a decision to love each other. Cause you guys know love ain't a feeling, it's a decision. And what I see right now, the emotion, Tonee, in your eyes, the joy in your beautiful wife's eyes. I'm just so glad. I'm just so glad that I've found you guys, because my parents live in Atlanta now, which means that we're going to be friends.
Oh, absolutely. Open invitation.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you also?
You and all 180,000.
Okay, let's all get welcome. And then Tonee will do a concert.
Can you also see the fear that I was telling you about?
Did he tell you he was afraid of me?
He said, I said, Tonee, how you been married so long? He's like, I'm just afraid of her.
I'm scared of her. No, but he is so special, Carlos. You picked a really good one. Thank you. And thank all of your supporters, and that spirit of love is palpable. He was telling me about you guys talking, and he's got a really nasty potty mouth. So you soldiered through that though, to hear his incredible story.
Yeah, no, I get it. He also said that you're like a princess. He said you're like a Disney princess, and there's not a potty word that comes out of your mouth. So, well, let's dive in, Tonee.
All our words are like this long, and
I know. Yeah, they're so smart. I can tell that is an educated lady behind you. So let's hop in here for just a few minutes, and let me get a little bit of your story, Tonee, if you don't mind. You told me that you grew up in a family of musicians. Tell us a little bit about growing up. I think you said maybe it was your parents that played. There was a piano somewhere.
Yes,
okay, tell me.
my dad played, my aunt played, and there was always a piano in the house. And I was always drawn to it, and I started playing at 5.
At 5 years old?
Yeah.
At 5 years old. Now, did your siblings also play?
No, they're smart. They my siblings can fix anything mechanical, can fix anything electrical. I can just do music.
Oh, I love it.
I can't fix a thing.
Well, no, you know what you fix with music is you fix people's souls, is what you fix. Yeah, and you got your beautiful wife coming behind. Tell me your wife's name again.
Mickey, like Mickey Mouse.
Yep, Mickey. I see Mickey keeps hopping in here, shaking her head like a good wife would, making sure that everybody knows. So go ahead. So you start playing the piano at 5. When did you feel like this is something that's actually in me, and this is something that I want to actually do for a living?
Well, that came along around age 14 because I always loved playing the piano. But at 14, I started looking at girls. And they always wanted the athletes, and I can't play sports. But I learned that athletes were seasonal, and I am year-round.
There we go.
Whatever they wanted.
Woo! I love that.
So that's when I wanted to do it for a living. When I could get girls.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, they really like that minor chord. Okay, so 14, you start playing. When
go ahead.
And
then after high school, I studied music at Tennessee State. I was under the tutelage of Carol Stone.
Carol Stone.
TSU, yeah. And
now we're talking Nashville. Now you're talking about my town. Now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You got some members. Did you ever play up and down Broadway? I need to know.
Up on Broadway? No, I played at Broad Street Exit.
Oh, you did?
Exit. What is it? No, Exit In.
Exit In. Oh, I know Exit In. Okay.
It's still around, man.
It is still around. So you're in Nashville. You're studying music, and then take us into kind of your 20s. And you had such a rich story that you told me earlier today, just about kind of what you were doing in your 20s in Atlanta when you moved to Atlanta, and how kind of music changed you.
Sure. When I moved to Atlanta, I was working for the Impressions, the singing group. After touring with them in Japan and Germany, I came back to Atlanta and was on tour with Brick, the band with the big song Daz.
Let's go.
Everybody go on and dance if you want. Anyway.
No, don't stop. That's good. You just take me back.
Then I started working clubs in Atlanta, all over the place in the 80s.
Lord have mercy. Okay, so like you can say that. You can say working clubs, but this is a podcast. I need the listeners to know what exactly that meant.
Getting to work bright and early at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
And going from 10 to 4 in the morning.
Wow.
Every night for about 20 years. Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah. And then the cruise ship business came along. And I was offered a job working cruise ships.
Hang on. I'm gonna rewind you real quick. You don't give credit enough to your story. This is why I'm a podcast interviewer, because I want to dig deep for a second. While you're living in Atlanta doing the club thing, right? You are you told me that you had kind of like a life wake up moment. That you had a moment when you're like at the clubs and you started maybe getting in the scene a little bit more than you wanted to get into the scene, and you started to see your life slipping. So talk to us about that, because I think it's an important part of your story.
In the 80s, cocaine was prevalent. Yeah. And I went through that phase. And the wake up moment was after about 10 years of partying and drugging all night. I found myself at the front door with my keyboard under my arms going to pawn it so I could continue getting, and that's when God slapped me and said, sit your down. And I've been 40 years clean since.
Wow, 40 years.
Yeah. And working on ships saved my life as well.
Okay, so
situation.
Tell us about that journey. So you're working on ships. How did you end up on a cruise ship?
Well, a friend of mine had a job already on the ship, and his piano player couldn't do the rest of the job, the contract. So he asked me if I could finish it for him. And I said, sure. And he flew me down to Miami, and I walked on to Royal Caribbean. And 11 years later, I was still doing it.
I love it. What was your typical week or day like on a cruise ship?
Well, I had the right job because I only work at night.
Okay.
And so every port we went to, I could enjoy all the ports, all the beaches, all the restaurants, everything. And in that travel, 11 years, I got to go to 87 countries. So
87 countries.
It was quite the experience. Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. So you were playing in the evenings. That sounds like the dream job. I don't know about you, but it sounds to me like that's, yeah.
It was a dream job. And then my wife, the way we did it, I'm gone for 4 months at a time. And the last week of the contract, wherever I was, she would fly there and cruise with me and bring me home.
Okay.
So she got to see quite a few places too.
Oh man, well that's good. That's good. I know. This is amazing because I see you guys at the beginning of this. When she came on camera, just the love that you guys have for each other. But yet, you're gone. You were gone for 4 months in a row. You guys were. This was again. It's not like this was 2021 where there's FaceTime.
Right.
Talk to us about how did you guys keep your love strong in those seasons when you had to be apart?
Well, we had already been.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question.
Yes, come on. The queen has arrived.
That's an appropriate question. No, it was funny because I love him, but I enjoy the solitude.
Yeah, she wanted my ass out of the house.
I would pack like 3 weeks before he'd have to go. Make sure you don't leave anything, sweetheart.
Okay.
But we are wired that way. I think this marriage, this union was probably divined in the heavens. Yes. I don't know. It just worked. It's not for everybody because he's gone a lot. And you got to be okay with that because he loves his music and he loves to travel.
And I was concerned about telling her I would have to be gone for 4 months. And when I told her, she said,
all right.
You taking this?
What an opportunity.
I love it. I love it. I love it. No, that is
prayer,
that is
prayer, faith,
lots of prayer,
lots of prayer, lots of prayer,
and it sounds like lots of trust as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, you got to have that.
You have to.
You got nothing.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
You do.
Yeah. No, I love it. Okay, so
and we have a good support system.
You do. Tell me a little bit about your support system. What's that look like?
Wow. Tonee and I were the first ones to move to Atlanta from Illinois. Okay. Right out of college from Nashville. I think he told you about our Nashville connection.
Yep.
And since then, I think who came first? My mother has moved here. Then my brother, then his sister, and another one of his brothers. All right, we got 4 nieces here now. So it's expanded. We have a host of great friends. Tonee's got a fan base that is so loyal. Anything he needs at all. He wants to take a day off. There's musicians that will line up to make sure his date is covered. He doesn't lose anything. So it's phenomenal. And then there's Carlos. And his legion of 180,000 kind-hearted love you. So therefore they're transferring that love to us of individuals because they don't know Tonee. No, they know his story. It's a familiar story, but it's not unique. There's a lot of people in his position,
Yeah.
But don't get me started.
Oh no, I love it.
Full. I'm just so full.
I'm on it. It's so and you guys get this. To receive is sometimes we can get in a place in a position where we don't feel like we deserve it. Like, cause there's always somebody else, right?
It's hard to receive this.
Yeah, no, I know, Tony. So I need to tell you something. Okay. I need to let you know something. It's so hard to believe that because there's always somebody else that needs something more, right? Always there.
Exactly.
But here's the thing that you can't play that game because what ends up happening is there's always going to be somebody else for the somebody else for the somebody else. And so like it's a never ending story. So what we have to do is look in the mirror and say, you know what?
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. I actually deserve this. And I'm here to tell you that you actually deserve this. Not because you are any better than anybody else, but you deserve this because you were chosen today to have an inspired divine encounter with me and my people. And so you deserve this. And so I need you to know somebody gives $1.50. Someone actually gave, there was a little kid that gave 50 cents to Tonee today. Yes. It was on my Venmo. Yes. It said 50 cents. Okay. And so it's thousands of people giving a tiny little bit. And now you're just part of the army, bro. You're in the family now. Like you're part, and you text me. This is what I love what Tonee texted me. Tonee, you said, let me see my text here. I'm going to read it for everybody to hear. You said, after you set up your Venmo, you go, now, how do I join your movement of hope? I want to be part of this community to help other people because it's in you. It's in you, bro. Like it's in you. And I know that you want to give. And here's the thing. You get to, you get to keep giving away as well. So that's my little sermon for you, bro. I need you to not feel like you don't deserve it because you do deserve it. And I am more than anything, more than the 40-something thousand dollars. I'm just grateful that I got a new friend.
Oh, stop it, man.
The feeling's mutual, Carlos.
God bless you. It is mutual, man.
I don't know how they could be any cuter. Does anybody else just want to grab them and squeeze their faces? That would be awkward, but they're just so precious. Good news. We're not done with the interview. We're halfway there. So much more goodness and wisdom is going to become dripping out of this conversation in just a second. But before we go there to finish it, we're going there. My friend Bianca has a podcast called We're Going There, and her third season just launched. Listen, she's an author, she's a speaker, she's a leader. Bianca Juarez Olthoff invites guests to discuss relevant topics affecting all aspects of life, from relationships to race relations, faith to fashion. The conversations will leave you with practical tips, fun ways to talk about tough topics, and stories with amazing people to impact your life. So listen, no topic is off the table, and Bianca's faith is always at the center and the forefront of the conversation. So, just like our podcast titled, We're Going There. If you want to find out more about Bianca, head to BiancaOlthoff.com. That's OLTHOFF.com. Episodes release every Thursday. Please, Human Hope family, go subscribe to her podcast. Give her some Human Hope love. All right, friends. Now, back to our new friends, Tonee and Mickey. Here we go.
It is mutual.
I'm just speechless. I'm catatonic. I don't have the words. Oh, man.
And I would like for you to dismiss her because I'm scared too. So you can go now.
Yeah, because I got a couple more questions for Tonee. No, I know you're scared of. I'm just as scared of my wife in certain situations. Okay, she can drop an elbow on me. So talk to us a little bit about you were explaining to me about kidney disease. I actually hadn't really. I wasn't familiar with it, and you were telling me because I was like, so how often do you do this? Tell us a little bit about what your life looks like now while you're playing music, but then you're also kind of fighting this thing on the side.
Well, that's the reason I had to come off the ships because I could no longer pass the physicals that's required for each contract. And I learned that I had kidney disease, and then it got worse and worse until I had no function. And at that point, you have to go on dialysis because your kidneys clean your blood. And
that's what kidneys do. So for those of us that don't know, kidneys clean your blood.
And without that, the toxins in your body will poison your body. And everything goes wrong. Everything. Because the kidneys affect every part of your body. And
how did you know you were sick?
I didn't know until I went to have my physical.
No way.
Went to have my physical. Yeah. Because there was no pain. There was no discomfort. And it was the numbers that showed my problem. And when I went to see my doctor, he told me that I need to go on dialysis immediately or I wasn't going to make it.
Wow.
And so I chose peritoneal dialysis,
where
I have a tube running in my stomach
Okay.
that puts a solution into me and takes it out, puts it in, takes it out all night long for 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours.
All night long. So every single night you do dialysis, and you'll have to do that the rest of your life?
Yes. Unless I get a kidney transplant.
Okay, so talk to me about that. You'd mentioned that earlier in the airport today about, I think maybe you said you kind of decided to not go that route for a certain reason.
Yeah, because there's a shelf life to organs that are transplanted.
Okay.
You have one, you're going to have another one because they last anywhere from 2 to 5 to 10, maybe even 20 years.
Okay.
But you will have another one.
Okay.
And so since the peritoneal dialysis is working for me right now, I'm staying with it until I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's a little inconvenient a lot of times, but it's something you have to do. And I was telling you, the reason I'm so thankful and so happy is because not what I'm dealing with, but what I'm not dealing with. I'm not dealing with cancer. I'm not dealing with a whole lot of heart trouble or anything like that that could be deadly as not having kidneys. And this can be handled right now.
Wow.
And, technology is only going to get better. So I'm thankful, man, every day.
Yes.
That's my testimony.
That is your testimony. Hey, listen, that's what it says. People are moved by other people's testimony. And your testimony is something fierce and something strong. Tonee, we've been in a season, let's just be honest, in a season over the last year and a half as a country and a planet where it's hard to see the good in humanity, right? It's hard to see the hope, man. It's tough because everybody's yelling at each other. Everybody's arguing about this or that or this or that. And today we saw humans come together. We saw humans that voted for different people come together. We saw humans and they all came together for good. Talk to me about the hope that today has given you.
Well, I think I remember saying I didn't have hope in humanity.
You actually said that today. You told me that before this happened.
Yes, and it's because I hadn't experienced it until today.
Wow.
And yes, I have hope in humanity. There are a lot of more people out there good than are not. And for total strangers to do what they did for me today, that's humanity. So yes, I do have hope in humanity now.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've touched it. I've met it. Yes.
Come on. Let's go. Let's go, man. Well, the podcast is called Human Hope. That's what the podcast is called, literally Human Hope. And what I love, I just love seeing the circumference of what hope looks like. Like you gave me hope by touching my heart and playing those keys like God has only created you to play those keys. And that hope in turn, I started filming you. I put it on my Instagram. 70,000 people have seen it so far, and they're moved by hope, and now they want to give you the hope back. And so, I think it's true. When you give, it comes back tenfold. It just does.
I want to be a part of this community, man.
Well, you're in now. You got like you're a card carrying member.
Yes. I want the notifications every 5 minutes. I want to know who we gonna help today.
Let's go. Well, this is what you got. I don't know if you have Instagram, but we got to get you an Instagram account, bro.
I do. It's Tonee Piano Man.
Well, I'm right now. While we're on this, I'm gonna follow you. Just Tonee Piano Man.
Yes.
All one word.
All one word.
Okay, so are you ready, Tonee Piano Man, when I put you on my Instagram for a lot of people to start following you and blessing you every day?
I've had Instagram for maybe 2 years. I've been on maybe 3 times. I don't know how to do this stuff.
Oh yeah. We're gonna teach you. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. We're gonna do a video chat, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to get on that thing, because that is where this community is living every single day, and how we're blessing people, a few times a month. So
I call my granddaughter for instruction on how to do this.
Good. Your granddaughter will know. She'll know.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So it's just Tonee Piano Man.
Yes.
Tonee Piano Man. Tonee, any last words you'd like to say to the people that are listening to this? Because you're just such a hope-filled human, and your story is going to touch so many people. Any last words of hope you'd like to offer?
I would like to say, those who are searching for hope, know that there is always a way, and if you can be happy and make others happy, you're going to have hope, and you're going to receive hope and blessings. What I do every day, I'm blessed to do every day. When people say that they've been moved or touched, it ain't me, man. That's the Lord moving through me. And,
let's go.
And just be thankful for wherever you are in life.
You heard it from the man himself, Tonee V. Hey, man, I love you, brother. Thank you for this.
I love you, man. Hey, Mickey!
Mickey, get back in here.
Yeah, done.
We're saying goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Hey,
so nice to meet you all. I love you all. I promise to do my job and take real good care of this sweet, sweet man.
You keep taking care of that sweet man. That's right. That's right.
We're together. We're going to continue to make some noise with all of you.
Let's do. I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
And Carlos, before I go, so that you know I'm not BSing it.
Yeah.
The day we got married, we just said, I do. We turned around and walking out the church, and the first thing out of her mouth to me, get off my train. I was stepping off.
He stepped on my train. Come on. Really? Really?
I've been married 2 minutes.
My head gear is all sideways and coming off.
I've been married 2 minutes, and I'm getting jumped on in church.
Love you so much.
That is so good. Thank you, Tonee. Thank you, Mickey. Honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed because, I think we thought that we were the ones that were, rescuing them out of something, but I swear they've rescued something out of me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you helping me bring them into our lives. We're not going to sit on this too long. I just want to thank you guys. And I think that's it. I don't think there's any more words to say. See you guys next week.